Red Phone Zone, where I do believe I know what I am talking about. In this case, this will be my second Confessions of a Movie Snob that I've recorded in, I think, about the last 12 hours or so. I did one just a little bit ago about Paul, and that one's up, and a couple of people have checked it out, and they've liked it to a certain degree. But as I promised during the recording of the Paul one, I did point out that Ethan and I went to go see Sucker Punch, the 2011 Zack Snyder release of said movie. So stay tuned, and I will let you know what I think about it. And I am back with my Confessions of a Movie Snob on the 2011 release of Sucker Punch poster right here. Pretty nice looking poster. Now, if you've watched any of my confessions before in the past, you'll know that I might come across like kind of inarticulate, but I actually need to confess that I do pay attention and I think about these things before I say it. It is right now 1:54 a.m. I saw the movie at 10. Hour drive home. Spent a little bit of time getting this stuff set up. So I'm really, really fresh on this. So if I miss something, sorry. But yeah. So 2011 Zack Snyder release of Sucker Punch. Zack Snyder is the director of such films as the Dawn of the Dead remake, 300. He did the Watchmen. He did the Legends of the Guardians, the Owls of Ga'Hoole. These are all movies that I've seen, and I like them to varying degrees. I'd have to say that my favorite of that group would probably be the Dawn of the Dead remake, but only one of those I disliked was probably the Watchmen, something like that. Which brings us to this, most latest effort. See, I'm all backwards, but the most latest effort of Sucker Punch. I don't really know where to start with it. I mean, I can go and tell you that I don't know any of the actors or actresses very well, but they are indeed in it. There's no humongous names, but there are some people that you might recognize, like Abbie Cornish and just people like that. How do I get into this? Did I like it? Not really. I mean, I really wanted to. When it comes down to it, I've spent a lot of not a lot, but I've spent a couple hours thinking about it, and it's really an issue of style over substance when it comes down to it. Very, very pretty movie to look at. Nice effects. Nothing that spectacular. But when it comes down to it, there really wasn't any character development. They weren't really giving you anything to care about over the course of the movie. They tried, but for whatever reason, it just didn't strike me. It didn't grab me by the heart. That I like it when a movie will do that. I just don't really feel the need to spoil it, but I also don't feel the need to really talk about the plot too much. Some people might jump all over this plot, it was this and that and so on and so forth. I'm not sure if there was a point in the movie where there was a reveal, if it was a spoiler. I'm not sure if you were supposed to be shocked by it. I wasn't sure how that's gonna work, but I talked to Ethan after he saw it, and he was the same way with me. Like, not only did not think of it as a spoiler, we just thought like that's just how it was supposed to happen. So I mean, it failed on that level. Geez, I mean, there's just so much I could say about it. In a nutshell, I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say that I think that some teenagers that haven't seen a whole lot of movies, or just people that that aren't as particular as I, would probably like this better than I did. For me, the visuals they were good. They were pretty good. They were pretty. It was a very loud movie. Lots of music, and very stylistic movie, very stylized. When they were in the I'm throwing quotation marks in the air, but real world, it was more of like dull, muted colors, and then they went into the fantasy worlds, and they would use really bright colors and just really over the top things like that. I just don't really want to explain the plot too much because they didn't spend a whole lot of time on it, so I don't really feel like I should. In a nutshell, the main character finds herself put into a mental institution, and she uses her daydreams, her fantasies, as a way to escape physically. So she's given a set of tasks that she needs to complete before she can actually get out and get back into the real world and stuff like that. I'm leaving a lot out explaining that. There was a whole I don't know 5-10 minute scene before she even got to the institution that was explaining why she was there and things of that nature, and tried to give a little bit of character development. Just didn't work for me when it comes down to that. This is a movie that is it's like a comic book, it's like a video game, it's like a music video, it's like manga, it's like anime, it's like a cartoon, but when it comes down to it, it's not really like a movie. I mean, it's all these different stylized things, but it's not very cohesive. I just I feel like I'm being a little bit too negative here, because I didn't hate this movie. I mean, it didn't make me want to I'm not pissed I saw it or anything, especially since I saw it for free, but it just is not for me, and I'm not going to really fault anybody for liking it. I found it boring. I was very surprised when I got out of the theater, and it was only an hour or 50 minutes, and but yeah, it's not for me. If you watch this after you've seen the movie and you think I'm wrong, go ahead and call me on it. I don't care, but it's not for me. I'm not telling you not to see it. I do feel like it's one of those movies that could use a second viewing, but I was trying to explain this to Rachel earlier. Yes, it could use a second viewing. It really could benefit from that, but there was nothing in there that made me want to take that second viewing and go through and see it all. I hope that other people see it. I hope that people really, really enjoy it. It's just really not for me. Moving on to the main reason why I even got out of the house to see this, as I pointed out, it is a Zack Snyder movie. Zack Snyder is going to be the director that's working on Superman, Man of Steel, the 2012, 2013 Superman movie, the new Superman movie to follow up. To follow up Superman Returns, or whatever that Brandon Routh one was. And I am simultaneously excited and scared, because Zack Snyder did show us that he does know how to direct epic action, but at the same time, it showed me that, man, does he need Nolan sitting on him, and he needs to keep the hell away from that script, and he needs to he needs to make it look pretty, and maybe let some of the other more mature people take care of some of the other things, because there was a scene in Sucker Punch where, I shit you not, they were Nazi, zombie, steampunk cyborgs in the fucking movie. I mean, I know that sounds awesome, but it was just kind of silly and head scratching for me. But I just I think that he could do it well. I'm really happy that Christopher Nolan is, producing it, grandfathering it, and hopefully he will sit on him, and we'll get maybe a little bit more of a reserved movie. This one was not for me. However, if you want to check it out, go ahead. I'm not going to fault you if you like it. But yeah, stay tuned. Well, I guess not stay tuned, but check us out next week, where we're going to be doing. I think we're actually going to be doing a commentary track for one of our favorite movies. We're going to work that out before I give out all the details, and we will have a normal scheduled show come this next following Wednesday. Till then, I am Aaron. I guess I could just have to say peace out. Goodbye.